Yeah. Second round of my Herzal streak challenge. We are up to run number 16 in the challenge. Although my win streak is still slightly higher because I still have the 3 wins before I even started the challenge counted in there. So yeah, let's jump in and see if we can keep the streak alive. Okay. We are Remnant as our secondary clan. Again. I think that happened last time as well when I played the Queen. Molten Encasement Rage Serum Vent. No imps, additional imps in the starting deck, nor any reform, but this is still a pretty good set of cards. That works very well with Royalty, the one that has Rally gain attack. Talos with Rage and Armor on Slay. That one would be quite scary, but I feel pretty confident with those cards that I can deal with that one. Fell with Scourgers, not a big deal for a deck like this, I think. Or rather, for how I imagine this to go. And Seraph with Zap. Hi Katsuhoshiko. 50k for the daily. In score pushing, you know how score works? In that every turn that passes reduces your score until you kill the boss. And every point of damage you take reduces your score. So early boss kills, especially flying boss kills, are important. Killing the minor bosses on the bottom floor, or in the turn they during the turn they enter the train. So ascent and stuff like that also works. It doesn't need to be on the bottom floor, but it needs to be early. Basically, try to aim for a build that scales offensively extremely well. Because you need insane scaling to get Flying Fell and Seraph kills. And for 50k, you need a very early Seraph kill, or an early Seraph and an early Fell kill, at the very least. Or 2.5k gold and an early kill can also work. But you need more than just a Flying Seraph kill for 50k points. So that's often... like, I can usually build a deck that kills Seraph in the air. In most daily challenges. But still, it's not that common to reach 50k. Maybe 1 out of 3 challenges where that is possible. I guess possible. It's possible a bit more often than that. But yeah, it also helps to look at other decks that were getting high scores and figure out how they did it. Yeah, there are... infinites have become harder over time. Multiple patches changed how that worked, how easy they were to get. But it's still very possible. But oftentimes it's not necessarily an infinite. But some of my most potent strategies are imps. Imps have very often have the power to scale that the necessary amount to get flying boss kills. Sketches of Salvation is always a good thing to build around. If you can get a couple Consumer of Crowns or Shadow Sieges or anything in that general vicinity out on the board on turn 1. That can be very strong. And most important, always try to include Ascent, Descent in your deck. Actually, one of the most common decks to get early boss kills and 50k scores, for me, is a Stygian Spell Weakness deck. Just blast the bosses out of the air. That works generally quite well. Anyways, for this run, I'm still not sure what to take here. It's probably Advanced Prototype. Just makes the early game so easy. Consume Crown is nice, but by the end game, the extra scaling with Slay is not that relevant. So these are both early game focused relics, and in that case, Advanced Prototype is just so much better. I wanna go Royalty here. We don't have extra imps. So yeah, generating imps makes more sense, but also imp unit cost reduction is not as important. And the interaction with these tombs, potentially endless tombs later on, or reformable tombs, can be very strong with Royalty. Thank you! Luna is always happy when she receives compliments. Mark of Invasion. We have Wentz, we have Queen Simplings. We should be okay with this. But it's gonna be a bit tough to put down the Shardtail Queen sometimes. I'm still gonna take this. It's very unlikely we'll take significant damage here, but I am expecting to take damage from the top line, but apparently that's not how this goes, which I'm entirely okay with. That imp should have gone on the bottom floor. I do want to trigger Rally a couple of times, so I do want to play some units there, but I also want to leave a slot open. We can kill everyone here, that's nice. Oh, we have another Went. I have to play that on the middle floor though. So yes, we'll take 2 damage to these guys reaching us. But we get the Collector. Molten Encasement, very happy to get one of these out. How much damage can you take? Oh, you can take all the damage. Kill 2 of the enemies while at it. Nice. Having this Molten Encasement on this specific turn is not very useful, because we don't have room for it, but that's okay. Actually, we can use it on the bottom floor. Gives us some damage on the boss and the damage we need to kill those enemies. And just 2 train stewards is already enough to kill that boss with the prototype. Yeah, the buff to Advanced Prototype, it used to be just damage shield and multi-strike without the +5/+5, but the buff to it really made a big difference. Hidden Passage, Fortify, Hornbreak. Hidden Passage is always pretty useful, just a generally good card. I don't think I need Fortify in this deck that much. If armor, I think I would prefer something more impactful and just a Fortify. Hornbreak is okay as well. I could honestly see it doing some work in this deck. After my vents get some damage upgrades, I could also upgrade it with some extra damage. And honestly, the hidden passage is not all that necessary with the Rally Queen. There's a few ways I can still make use of it, but I think I'm gonna go with Thornbreak here. Dripfall, Entombed Explosive, Wicklash. I like the Entombed Explosive, honestly. We can definitely do something with these tombs. But I think I should pick Dripfall here. It's very flexible, quite a useful card. I'm gonna go with that. Unit upgrades. I wouldn't mind Endless, but that's really the only one I'm looking for right now. But that might change if I get a good banner unit here. What am I looking in terms of spell upgrades? Magic power on the Vent. But that's pretty much it. Well, cost reductions of course, but still. We don't have that many spells to upgrade. Mainly because we started with all units as basic cards. Queen Simplings as well as Drags. Train Stewards of course. And then we also rolled units in the Molten Encasement, so we started with almost no spells whatsoever. I guess we can find a few small unit upgrades that are useful to us. Just put them on Drags and stuff. Let's see what's in there. Quick, Weak Stone. Hi Ninian. No, I'm not doing random right now. I'm cycling my main clan. Cycling through all the champions with random subclans. And trying to see how high I can streak just while cycling those clans. Currently at 18. Although 3 of those were random before I started doing it that way. So we are currently at 15 wins in a row with cycling clans. Paraffin Thug and Lady of the House. Paraffin Thug this early is always just a good idea. It's usually worth picking up even if you remove it later. It will oftentimes pay for itself. Wickstone on a Molten Encasement just makes sense to me. Maybe we can get Endless and that will be all the defense we need. Except against spikes. I'm considering buying the Strength Stone. But that might lock me out of other options after the reroll. Hey! Okay, defense is mostly taken care of now. Do I want a Heartstone or the Paraffin Thug just to be safe against spikes? That could be something. Kinda want more damage right now. But we do have the Shardtail Queen, who is generally gonna grow pretty decently large. Yeah, Harvest unit would definitely be a nice addition. I'm gonna go with this for now. I think that will pay off. Yeah, against Sweep, not as necessary because of the stealth we're gonna have by that point. Top floor is capacity reduced. Let's set up on this floor. Do I want to leave? Yeah, I do want to leave that slot in front of the Queen open. Definitely gonna go with the drag on the top floor. Could save that imp, that's not gonna matter to me. Might as well. No better use for this drag anyways. Good thing I saved that slot. Went does give us... No, Went doesn't change the math here. I wonder if I should drip fall anything here. I'm gonna have 40 damage next turn. I think that's slightly better. And more importantly, we will have access to train stewards on the top floor now. Definitely kill one of those off. Should have been the back one. Oops. Oh, now the Trusted Priest will tank for the Archer. I missed that one. Okay, Went will take care of the situation there. And we should be fine against the boss with all the stealth we are accumulating. We can also just use these imps. That will work also. There we go. Maybe I could have optimized for getting the kill on the backliner. But I'm not sure if that was possible here. I wouldn't mind a fletchling him, but yeah, we're gonna go capacity anyways. This deck wants capacity so much. Gives me a bit more scaling. This is kind of not that great. A second drip fall would be fine. But I don't think I really need it. Do we want any of these units? No, pretty sure we don't. None of them really serve a purpose in this deck. Remnant Banner is tempting. Yeah, I think I just want to go for that. Let's see what's in the Merchant of Magic. Freeze, Surge and Ember Stone. Wickless Baron? That's definitely a unit I want to pick up. I don't need the Permafrost at all. I'm just gonna buy some small upgrades. I hope I can find, yeah, a +10 for one of the Wents. Makes it much easier to play. I'm also gonna cost reduce the drip fall while I'm at it. Dupes. What do we dupe here? To me, it looks like I dupe one Vent, the upgraded one. Having two of those upgraded Vents will give me a lot of capability of killing multiple units on my Wickless Baron floor. But I don't need 5 more of those. That would be too much. Okay. Onwards against Rage Talos. She's also known as Slay Talos, but I think the Rage is the more important characteristic here. This fight will not be decided by the Wickless Baron, so I'm okay with just putting them up there and just playing some drags on that floor. There we go. Managed to draw the Molten Encasement right on time. Another one on the top floor. I think I want to go with the units that die on their own first. The Wickless Baron is mostly for catching... I don't want to play this Vent. I do want to get the Slay here with the Paraffin Thug. If I play the Vent, the Shardtail Queen will kill the Forge Disciple and the Clergyman will die to the Vent. So I'm not gonna. I think I threw away a Slay here, but I couldn't quite figure out how to get that Slay, so I'm okay with that. Things are looking great on the top floor. This Rage Serum doesn't matter. This is another Slay for our Paraffin Thug. Oops. Accidentally killed that guy. Didn't pay attention when I played that drag. Could have optimized for money a bit more here, but I think all in all we are on a pretty good path. This should give us the kill with the backliner. There we go, another 20 gold. Dark Deal on One Horn's Tome and Spike of the Hellhound. Ooh, these are some cards. Very exciting cards. Why would I take something else than One Horn's Tome here? Because I can't upgrade it until this point. And if I upgrade it here, I give up the only Merchant of Steel before Fell. That would be the problem with that. Dark Deal is pretty tempting. Works quite well with the Paraffin Thug. Spike of the Hellhound is not what I'm currently looking for, but there are a few relics that could make Spike of the Hellhound really good, but these relics would also make One Horn's Tome really good. So, One Horn's Tome is always the better pick than Spike of the Hellhound, and I think I want it over the Dark Deal here. This is skip, we don't need more units. And we need capacity. Definitely. Capacity defines how well we are scaling here. Dupe. Right now, it's not really all that necessary to dupe anything. Removals are nice, but so are relics. There are a few that I would really like. One Horn, not one, the banner. There's the banner. When you play 2 units, gain 3 energy. There's also the one that gives you energy when tombs die. These would be pretty good, just for the energy side of things. Railhammer, sadly we can't really use that, but I don't mind Scorching Restraints. I could see Rage playing a part in all of this in the future. Imperialist versus Royalty. Upgrade. Royalty gives me a stronger frontliner. Well, a stronger frontline killer. But we still can't kill double frontlines. Imperialists. It's probably not something I wanna splash in this path. Yeah, I think we are staying on the royalty path here. That just gives us the necessary scaling to deal with anything this next few rings could throw at us. Absolvers. Bottom floor is also capacity reduced. Think we have to deal with just taking... Oh, Shardtail Queen first. We just have to deal with taking some Scorchers here. It's definitely the vent floor. But I also want to get these two out. This one won't die this turn, but that's fine. Yep, that solves all the issues for now. This one in front, so it actually dies. Then a vent gives me the kill on the frontliner. Not quite. I guess that's okay. We can kill those on the top floor. We just don't get gold for it, which is a bit of a shame. Play this one to soften those enemies up a bit. Wonder if I should hornbreak the backliner. Yeah, or no, actually I could dripfall it instead. Dripfall the frontliner and then hornbreak this absolver. That would work. Top floor is already fine. While that would work, we then have two Clip Guardians on the same floor. How do we deal with that? Not so well at all. What I should have done is probably play the Train Steward on this floor. No, not really. That wouldn't solve the problem either. Question is just, am I willing to leave that? Yeah, I'm not. I'm doing this instead. Top floor is good enough to finish off these units. Just block some damage here, keep the rage up. The Endless Molten Encasement is at the bottom of the deck. Not ideal. And we're gonna have a ton of Scorchers here. Well, luckily the Thoughtbinder didn't get the kills on most of these enemies. Allies. That's a good chunk of damage, but we need a bit more than that. Well, we have the top floor still. The top floor will get us there. Important work. Reinforce branding right. Definitely not reinforce. Branding right is also not that great. Important work on the other hand, seems reasonable. Fatal melting, crushing demise, remnant host. I feel like skipping this entirely, although a remnant host does have some synergy with, at the very least, with the Wickless Baron. I don't think these drafts trigger ally. I'm pretty sure they don't. But they do trigger harvest, of course. Still, I'm gonna skip this. Now here's the question. Do we make the one Hornstone playable? Or do we upgrade our units some more? I think what we're really lacking right now is multi-strike. And we can solve that by trying to find multi-strike in a shop, or we can guaranteed solve that by giving our multi-strike card in the deck an opportunity to shine. Gurg's Gold. Well, that gives multi-strike to no one right now, which is a bit of a shame. Iron Drop Cage is fine though. Makes the Dripfall a bit better. Maybe that means I want to hold over the Dripfall now, because now it's Daze 3. That's a really strong defensive mechanism. Problem with that? We already have a really strong defensive mechanism that we draw into every single turn. So how about important work then? As soon as we have an Endless Imp, that's gonna be very good. Right now it's just kind of okay. Sure. Let's make this one Hornstone playable. I'm also gonna upgrade the remaining event with the Consume, because I don't need 3 events constantly cycling through my deck. We don't really have anything we wanna double stack. That goes on the Hornbreak. 15 damage gives us the ability to one-shot Steel Wings with it. That's always quite nice. I could do that. That's such a waste of money, though. What are our first cuts in this deck? What do we purge here? Do we even purge anything? Or do we just keep the gold and go for a giant Merchant of Trinkets? There's a dupe and an unstable vortex on the other side, which is really hard to skip. So I don't think we are gonna go to this Merchant of Magic here. Which means we can safely start purging some cards, and I feel like the Queen Simplings are better than the Drags now that we have a holdover important work in the deck. And the Train Seals are still pretty damn strong. They can provide significant damage, so I'm just gonna remove a Drag and move on. Numbers enemy units gain +6 attack. I don't think that matters too much. We should be able to get every wave down, so these are not gonna hit our Pyre for additional damage. And we do have strong defensive mechanisms. As soon as we get them going, they will protect us. I'm gonna get a kill here though. Hey! This thing decided to show up very early. Yeah, I can't get the Collector this time. The only way I could have gotten the Collector was playing that Imp on the top floor and then buffing them with Fledgling Imp. But that would only have worked with exactly Fledgling Imp, so it was certainly not a reliable or a reasonable thing I could have foreseen happening here. That backliner is pretty healthy. problem with that one. Well, we can hit them for 34. It's not gonna be enough to take them down, but we can at least weaken them significantly. I give up 20 gold for it though. I'm okay with that. Gripfall would be nice now. One Horn's Tome. Don't mind that at all. We don't have an imp this turn. I'm just gonna go for the money with the One Horn's Tome. We can play the Mold Encasement this turn. That's a shame. I wish I had an imp around. Maybe I should have paid more attention to that. The One Horn's Tome is actually quite dangerous here. What do I do? We're gonna run out of stealth. Well, we do have a lot of jump blocks coming up. But the boss has sweep. I can't just use the One Horn's Tome, even on the backliner, without stealth. I guess that's what we do here. And then this guy will take 41. He will actually take 51 and gain 10 armor. We would need 28 more damage. We can't generate that much damage. We can do 24. It's not quite enough. So he'll go up with 38 health. So if we play the vault on the vent on the top floor, we will at least only take a single hit from them. That's fine. That's fine. I wish we could kill this backliner right now. But well, we can. I guess we should, right? Once again, I lose 20 gold for it. Is that worth? Welcome back, Katsu Hoshiko. 53k in your first round try. That's extremely good. Ascend was so OP. Yeah, Ascend really is amazing. Yeah, I don't want to take another giant hit from this guy. So we remove these so we can kill the overcharge tank here. Ah, Moth Magic. Yeah, Moth Magic is often, if you use it correctly, it's very often a really powerful tool for getting good scores. It's not like we can slay these backliners or anything. Okay, yeah, that will also get you a lot of score if you get that much gold. Higher Chomper. That might be good. Especially if I also have Reform available. Reform is quite interesting to me right now. I'll take a Wicked Blaze. Thank you. I'm glad it helped. What do we dupe now? Is it the One Horn's Tome? I would love to dupe the One Horn's Tome and be able to play that reliably. But right now it's still pretty awkward. It's an investment in the future. We don't need that many train stewards, we can cut one now. I think our next cut is gonna be another drag. Purchase are not hugely important for this deck because no cards are really terrible. Scorchfell. Ooh, Pyre Jumper in my opening hand. Now the usual question, how to deal with this Alabaster Guardian. I can't play my whole hand, but... Nope, not beer, apple juice. I do appreciate a good beer, but usually not when I'm the only one drinking. Yeah, I don't want to set up on the top floor. I think we mix it up this time. I'm not gonna catch this first wave. But we should be well prepared for any future waves. We need a vent if we want to kill this top floor. I should have Wicked Blaze the Pyre Jumper. Doesn't make a huge difference. We are also now able to kill the Absolver, which is great. This always goes down here. Killing the Alabaster Guardian this turn is actually quite important. That means we can slay the Quill Marksman next. Drag all the way in the back to kill the Absolver. That drag will die soon enough. This is fine, this is just another slave for us. Cycle this for an additional rally and harvest trigger. We don't even need the vent. Or we might as well. It hits fell after all. I need a non-burnout one to get hit first. We don't get this Absolver down, which is a bit annoying. But that just means I won't have energy this turn. Well, yeah, basically I won't have energy this turn. But I kind of need some energy. I do want to keep the Molten Encasement going. I'm fine with skipping the Fledgling Imp though. So I'm just gonna play the Ultimate Penance. And let's Daze Fell some. Not like it matters, because we're gonna have more stealth than Daze on the enemy anyways, but... There we go. Remnant Pact. Yes. But let me think about the other options as well. Sacrificial Resurrection. Can get rid of the dead weights and some other cards I don't particularly enjoy at the moment. Give us a draft. Formless Child. Not that into it either. It's Remnant Pact here. Is it another capacity? I don't think so. I think at this point we go draw. Maybe I should have gone Ember though. I'm still hoping that we can solve our Ember problems with the Relic. Or maybe with the Endless Pyre Jumper. It's time to get some unit upgrades. Combustible Wax. No. Melting Spout is also awkward because we already have Burnout 1 on this Molten Encasement. So it would increase that to Burnout 2 and that would be a problem. This is a skip. It's a shame. I would have loved the plus 30 health and Burnout 1 if I didn't already have Burnout on my unit. We are cutting this guy pretty soon, right? Are we? Not if we give him quick. Then he has a role to play. I don't want quick on anyone else anyway, so that's a pretty easy thing to do here. Wickless Baron really wants multi-strike. But one multi-strike is enough, right? So we can fill the other slot with just an attack upgrade. And reroll. There we go. A Wickstone goes on the Pyre Jumper. Yes. Endless Pyre Jumper is still something I'm considering. Trap Shoot and Steel Pulley Claw. Yeah, I like the pulley here. We sometimes have trouble dealing with double frontline units. Or waves, rather. And this just takes them out of commission, because we also have the Iron Drop Cage. Yeah, in Parade, not interested, honestly. It's royalty 3. Let's get all the... Ooh. Spikes 5, huh? That means I can't ever one-horns tome the queen, or anyone really, before the boss. Is that okay? That might be okay. That might be okay. I think this is pretty scary, but I think we can do it. This first wave is gonna be a pain. This first wave is really, really dangerous. I think I have to sacrifice my Paraffin Thug. I have played around with mods, yes. I have a series on the Arcadian clan. Should be up on YouTube, if you're interested in some modded gameplay. We just have to draw into event. I'm basically sacrificing my Paraffin Thug here. Is this the one we wanna make endless? That would give us some scaling. If I'm not relying on One Horn's Tome in this fight, I don't need the Pyre Chomper either. Okay. This is fine. Wickless Baron in front here. We do have the Vent to take out these Wildwings. Or we might be fine without the Vent. I should have done that like this instead. Too bad we can't ever play these One-Horn Storms until the boss shows up. It's actually a big chunk of extra damage if we play this in front. Almost enough to get the kill. Do want to keep you around for a little bit longer, if at all possible. And because these One-Horn Storm are pretty useless, I'm just gonna throw that out on one of these units, just to get it out of the deck. It's not something you usually hear about One-Horn Storm. I'm just gonna play it out to get it out of the deck, but it's a thing here. That makes sense. Well, this is fine. We need more slays on the top floor. We also need more kills on this floor. These Wildwings, these are the ones that could ruin my top floor if I let them. Finally we get a Molten Encasement here. These enemies have spikes, so I don't really want to play a Steel Pulleyclaw against them. Because that's still gonna cost me quite a bit of pyre health. But these next two waves are quite scary. But I will have two Vents. I will have two Vents, everything will be okay. How do I... This seems like it would work. Should probably Wicked Blaze the Pyre Jumper. Yeah, that makes sense actually. So I can get the other One-Horn Storm out of the deck. We need to play before the Vent though. This is okay. Everything is fine here. Now we just need to get rid of these guys and then things will be a-okay. This one will burn out on its own. These things don't matter at all. Hey, I went. That solves the problem. just want this out of the deck as well. And we have the win here. This boss doesn't like huge hits at all. That was a bit scary, but we managed to get through this somehow. Tiresome climb. Important work, Rage Serum. Another important work is a little bit of extra scaling, actually a decent bit, because we gain 25 attack whenever we play a unit. Sacred Wicks isn't terrible, honestly. Brings me back some imps. Sometimes that's pretty good, sometimes it's not really useful, but it also is a zero cost that consumes. And we don't really have that much setup to do. Are there any unit upgrades I really want here? Another Endless would be nice, but it would also be not at all necessary. I'm gonna go to the left for spell upgrades and removals instead. Flicker's Liquor makes it much easier to get these one-horn storms off. Yes. Firewall is unnecessary. Infused Mallet doesn't seem useful either. Winged Steel, yes. We could get wing clippings, so we could play more one-horn storms and remnant pacts and things like that. But let's look at the left side first. None of these really wants consume removal. Spell power is not necessary either. I do like the idea of cost reducing the Wicked Blaze though. I'm also gonna reroll. Permafrost. There's a point to that on the remnant pack. That's actually quite big. Yeah, I'll take that. And I can't afford any more relics now. That's okay though. It was in no way necessary at all. Let's upgrade the Wicked Blaze again. And then we spend the rest of our money for removals. Question is, at this point, what do we remove? It's Queen's Implings. We now have endless imps with the addition of the Remnant Pact, so we don't need that many imps anymore. It's still nice to have some around. I think I also want to remove another Train Steward. They're not gonna be that good in the final fight, and the imps and drags are a bit more useful because of their low capacity cost, so I can more easily get Harvest and Rally triggers with them. Okay, Sapsera. Can we deal with them? I think so. I think we should be able to. Setting up on this floor is pretty nice. Definitely the Shardtail Queen in the back. And we need an imp in front. Let's make it the fledgling. This means we're not gonna endless the fledgling. No, we still can. We still can. 2 Train Stewards on the top floor just makes sense. Honestly, let's do it like this. Keep the fledgling imp alive for this turn. That might be okay. We can just play the whole hand, right? Do we want the fledgling imp to die? We're gonna vent on this floor anyways. So only one unit is gonna die. Might as well be the Molten Encasement. We can sacrifice the imp easily, but not the encasement. You belong on the top floor, that's for sure. And then we start with the multi-strike. Do we wanna vent? Yes. both floors. We're not slaying stuff for benefits, except for some amount of money, which doesn't really have any value to us at this point. I kinda still wanna make the fledgling imp endless, if I can. Because with the Flicker's Liquor we don't really need the other imp, so I'm not gonna sacrifice them this turn. Is still Pulleyclaw anything useful here? Well, I guess it's useful for this. We don't need Daze on the Seraph either, so the Daze is kind of pointless. But I guess Seraph takes more damage on this floor, so might as well. And here's the Remnant Pact. Let's also play the Pyre Jumper, because that makes it very easy to get the One-Horn Tome off. Oh, it became free anyways. We start sacrificing this imp. Replaying them in the front. This went, I'm just gonna play for the consume. Sure, let's see what we get. I don't care about these things. I think we're pretty much done now. We have stealth, which makes sure that we're not gonna take damage anytime soon. We have rage scaling. And we have health scaling in the Wickless Baron that gives us the health after the stealth has run out. And damage scaling with the Shardtail Queen is ridiculous. So yeah, we are very much on a path to victory here. I don't care about your armor. My queen will demolish you easily. Yeah, that queen is growing quite fast. I didn't face a single Steel Wing this run. Oh wait, there is one. I wasn't sure if there were any in this fight at all. Okay, that imp might be a bit too tough. No, the damage that's incoming here would have been enough to kill even that imp. Don't mind me just doing crazy scaling here. And one more time for fun. The fledgling imp doesn't even die. Seraph isn't tanky enough to yeah, to deal with my 2k damage Shardtail Queen. That was a fun run. That scaling at the end, with the stealth scaling and the insane attack scaling on the queen, that was really good. Well, this run made it pretty easy for me because we covered our defenses so early on that I could basically focus the rest of my run around how do I get enough offense to deal with double frontliners and bosses. And our champion, together with the One-Horn Tomes, just solved that issue for us very easily. Anyways, that was a fun run. Very happy with that. Pretty much defined by having a strong scaling champion and a very powerful tool for defense, and then just went from there. Hey Chris! Thank you so much for the 10 gift subs to the community. Wow, that's very generous of you. Uri Freund, Hero Sound, RS Jackson, Kawa FTW, Palm Zira, Rossum, Drooly, Mists, Katira, and Robsk. Welcome to the channel and enjoy your emotes in chat. Thank you so much, Chris. Very much appreciated.